بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Math grade 9 algebra 1. We are in model 6 lesson 4 solving absolute value inequalities. So in this lesson we want to learn solving inequalities involving this sign less than and absolute value. For a real numbers A, the inequality absolute value of x less than a means that the distance between x and 0 is less than a. So when solving absolute value inequalities, there are two cases to consider. Case 1, the expression inside the absolute value symbols is non-negative. Non-negative means positive. Non-negative means positive or 0. If x is non-negative, then the absolute value of x will be what? Will be x. The second case, the expression inside the absolute value symbols is negative. If x is negative, then the absolute value of x will be negative x. Example, solve absolute value inequalities using this sign less than. Solve the absolute value of m plus 5 less than 3, then graph the solution set. So rewrite the same inequality for case 1 and for case 2. The first case, if we have non-negative case means the absolute value of m plus 5 will be the same value, m plus 5. So we can write the inequality m plus 5 less than 3, m plus 5 less than 3. Then we can solve this inequality. You will get m less than minus 2. Then take the second case. The second case, if we have negative. Negative means multiply this value by minus or by negative. So we can write the inequality negative times between parentheses m plus 5 less than 3. Then use distributive minus times m minus times 5 minus 5 less than 3. Then we can solve this inequality. We will get the second case. So we have m less than negative 2 and m greater than negative 8. So the solution set will be the variable m such as m between two values less than negative 2 and greater than negative 8. Then we can graph the set of the solution. As we see here, we have two values. We have m less than 2 without sign, without the equals, and we have x or m, sorry, greater than minus 8 without equals. So use open circle. Use open circle to graph. we have absolute value of 6m plus 12. So the example, we have absolute value of 6m plus 12 less than or equal 12, or without equal 12. How to solve this inequality? As you see, we have absolute value and we have sign less than. So here we have two cases. Suppose we have the first case, suppose this is non-negative. This is non-negative means take the same value. Take the same value, 6m plus 12 less than 12. And the second case, take the negative value. The negative value means multiply by negative. Multiply this value by negative. Negative times 6m plus 12 less than 12. Then we can solve the two inequalities. To solve this inequality, try to remove 12. So we can subtract 12 from the two sides. 12 and minus 12, 0. Remains here 6m. Less than 12 minus 12 will be 0. Then we can remove 6 from here, so we can divide by 6. 6m divided by 6 will be m. Less than 0 divided by 6 will be 0. And here, we can use distributive property. Take minus times 6m will be minus 6m. Then take minus times 12 will be minus 12. Less than 12. To solve this inequality, try to remove negative 12 from here. So add the inverse. Plus 12 here. Plus 12 here. So negative 12 and the plus 12 will be 0. So we have here in this side negative 6m less than 12 plus 12 will be 24. Then we want to remove negative 6 to keep the variable alone. So you can divide by the coefficient, divide by -6 here, and divide by -6 here. -6 divided by -6, 1 remains here m. And always remember, when you divide or multiply by negative number, switch the direction of the inequality. Now 24 divided by -6 will be -3. So we can write the set of the solution m, the variable m, such as we have m less than 0 and m greater than -3. So m between two values, greater than and less than, greater than -3 and less than 0. Then we can graph. This is 0 in the middle, and here -3. And we can use open circle because we don't have equals in the signs. And here m less than 0 means the direction to the negative side. And here m greater than -3 means the direction to the positive side. Who has any question about this idea? Is it clear for all? Okay. Now, absolute value inequalities less than with no solution. With no solution. For example, solve absolute value of n minus 1 less than -1. Then graph the solution set. And because the absolute value of -1, n minus 1 is an absolute value expression, it cannot be negative. It cannot be negative. So it is not possible for absolute value of n minus 1 to be less than -5. So this is not correct. So therefore, there is no solution. And the solution set is empty set. And when we have empty set, we can use this sign. This sign, read it phi. Read it phi. When you see this sign, means no solution. Empty set, no value. This is phi. Phi. This sign means phi. And as you see here, if you choose n any value, if you choose n 0, n minus 1, 0 minus 1 will be -1. The absolute value of -1 will be 1. Is it 1 less than -5? No, this is correct. If you choose n any value, you will get here positive, or you will get here 0. So means not any value less than -5. So this is not correct inequality. Means here no solution. Means here the solution will be what? Phi. We use this sign. This sign means phi, like this. This sign, phi, phi. Okay. Use absolute value inequalities. Who can read this example, please? Yes, Shamma. Thank you, Shamma. Great. So now we want to write inequality from these words. We have the difference between the actual percent and 72%. And we have here S is less than or equal to, and here 1.8. We don't know the actual percent, so you can represent the variable. Let X the actual percent of users who like the change. Now we can translate the inequality. The difference means minus between the actual value X and 72, between absolute value. Less than or equal, less than or equal, and here 1.8. Now, after we wrote the inequality, we want to solve it. As you see, this inequality include absolute value and include less than. So here, to solve this inequality, we have two cases. The first case is the value non-negative, means write the same value, less than equal 1.8. You can solve this inequality, you will get this solution. And the second case, we have the negative value, means multiply this value by minus or by negative. Will be negative times x minus 72 less than or equal 1.8. Then we can use the distributed. Minus times x minus times minus 72 will be plus 72 less than or equal 1.2. Then we can remove 72 from the two sides, subtract 72 from here and from here. You will get negative x less than or equal negative 7.2, 70.2. Then divide by minus 1 to keep x alone and switch the sign because we divided by negative number. So x will be greater than or equal 70.2. So the set of the solution, the variable x such as x between two values, less than or equal 73.8 and greater than or equal 70.2. Now, the second idea in this lesson, solving inequalities using the sign greater than, using the sign involving solve inequalities involving greater than and absolute value. For a real number A, the inequality absolute value of x greater than A means that the distance between x and 0 is greater than A. The distance between x and 0 is greater than A. Also here, when solving absolute value inequalities, there are two cases to consider. The first case, the expression inside the absolute value samples is non-negative. If x is non-negative, the absolute value of x will be x. So means x greater than A. X greater than A. The second case, the expression inside the absolute value samples is negative. If x is negative, means the absolute value of x will be negative x. Negative x greater than A. Negative x greater than A. If you divide the two sides by negative, you will get x less than negative A. So means the first case x greater than A, and the second case x less than negative A. And the set of the solution x such as x less than negative A or x greater than A. Example. Solve absolute value inequalities using the sign greater than. For example, solve the absolute value of 2m minus 9 greater than 13. Then graph the the solution set. So rewrite the same inequality and for case 1 and for case 2. The first case, if the value non-negative means keep the same value. The absolute value of 2m minus 9 will be 2m minus 9. So the inequality will be 2m minus 9 greater than 13. Then solve this inequality, try to remove negative 9. So add the inverse, plus 9 here, plus 9 here, you will get 2m greater than 22. Then we want to remove 2, so divide the two sides by 2. You will get m greater than 11. The second case, if the value inside the absolute value negative, means the absolute value of 2m minus 9 will be negative times between parentheses 2m minus 9. So the inequality will be now minus between parentheses 2m minus 9 greater than 13. To solve this inequality, distribute the minus to the all terms inside the parentheses. Minus times 2m will be negative 2m, minus times minus 9 will be positive 9, greater than 13. To solve this inequality, try to remove 9, subtract 9 from the two sides. You will get minus 2m greater than 4. Then we want to remove negative 2 to keep the variable unknown, so we can divide the two sides by negative 2. And always remember, when you divide or multiply the inequality by a negative number, switch the direction of the sign. So you will get m less than minus 2. So means here we have two solutions. So m greater than 11 or m less than minus 2. So the solution set is m such as m greater than 11 or m less than minus 2. And this is the graph. This is m less than minus 2. And this is m greater than 11. Example. We have here absolute value of 4m minus 20 greater than or equal 12. To solve this inequality, discuss two cases. The first case, suppose the value inside the absolute value non-negative, means keep the same value, 4m minus 20 greater than or equal 12. This is the first case. Or the second case, the value inside the absolute value will be negative, means multiply by negative, minus times 4m minus 20 greater than or equal 12. Now we want to solve the two inequalities. The first inequality, to solve the first inequality, try to remove negative 20. To remove negative 20, add the inverse, plus 20 here, plus 20 here. Negative 20 plus 20 will be 0, remains here 4m, greater than or equal 12 plus 20 will be 13. Then divide the two sides by 4. 4m divided by 4 will be m, greater than or equal 32 divided by 4 will be 8. The second inequality, distribute minus 1 inside the parentheses. Minus times 4m will be minus 4m. Minus times minus 20 will be positive 20, greater than or equal 12. Then subtract 20 from the two sides. Positive negative 20 will be 0, remains here minus 4m, greater than or equal 12 minus 20 will be minus 8. Then remove minus 4 from the side, so divide by the same number, divide by minus 4 here, divide by minus 4 here. Now minus 4 divided by minus 4, 1m means m, and switch the direction of the sign because you divide it by negative number, and here negative 8 divided by negative 4 will be 2. So the set of the solution we have m, the variable, such as m greater than or equal 8 or m less than or equal to. So the set of the solution, here we have 0. We have the first value here, m2. We have equal in the sign means use shaded circle. And m less than means to the negative side. And here the second value will be 8. Also we have equal in the sign, so means use shaded circle. And m greater than. Who has any question about this idea? Is it clear for all? طيب بس عندك شهر 5 وشهر 6 يعني منتصف شهر 6 تقريبا. طيب absolute value inequalities using greater than with overlapping case solution. Solve the absolute value of n minus 6 greater than or equal minus 5. Then graph the solution set. The first idea, rewrite the same inequality discussing the two cases, case 1 and case 2. Case 1, n minus 6 is non-negative, means keep the same value, n minus 6 greater than or equal minus 5. Solve this inequality, you will get the solution. Then take the second case, will be this value negative, means multiply by negative. Then solve this inequality, you will get the second solution. Then you can write the set of the solution. And the n here greater than or equal 1 and n less than or equal 11 means n here is a real number. N is a real number. And this is the graph. The graph here, the all values. So this is our lesson for today. Who has any question about this idea? Are all ideas clear in this lesson? Okay. This is our homework for today. I will send to you. I want from all to work with this homework because this is important idea for present and for future. At least I want to from all at least to solve 5 exercises, not allow less than. If you solve it all, you will get more marks. Right. And I will solve the first one, then you will continue in your home. Then send me the homework in the teams. Right. The question here, solve each inequality, then graph the solution set. When you see in the equality absolute value, always remember you have two cases. The first case, the value inside the absolute value, non-negative. Non-negative means take the same value. Less than 6. The second case, the value inside the absolute value will be negative, means multiply it by negative. Then solve the first inequality and solve the second inequality. To solve the first inequality, Always when you want to solve the inequality, try to keep the variable alone in the same side. So remove any number with the variable. How to remove minus 5? Add the inverse of minus 5. Plus 5 here, plus 5 here. Minus 5 plus 5 will be 0. That means here y less than 6 plus 5 will be 11. And here, to solve this inequality, distribute minus times y minus y. Minus times minus 5 will be plus 5. Less than 6. To solve this inequality, try to remove 5 from this side. So add the inverse, minus 5 here, and minus 5 here. Plus 5 and minus 5, 0. So it means here we have minus y less than 6 minus 5 will be 1. Then try to remove the minus here. You can divide it by minus 1. Minus y divided by minus 1 will be y. And switch the sign because we divided by a negative number. And 1 divided by minus 1 will be minus 1. You can now write the set of the solution. We have the variable y such as, and here y less than and y greater than means y between two values. Y greater than negative 1 and y less than 11. Then we can graph this is 0 here. The first value here minus 1. We don't have sign equal in the sign, so use open circle. And y greater than minus 1 means to the positive side. Then take 11. Also use open circle. And y less than 11 means to the negative side. So this is the area of the solution here. So who has any question about this idea? No questions? Sure? Okay, طيب. Can you try number 2 now? I want from all to try number 2. And send me your solution in the Teams, in the message. And the student inside the classroom, you can show your work in the room.
C greater than 1.
Repeat, please.
C greater than 1.
C greater than what?
1.
And what is the second solution?
Did not finish it.
No solution?
Yes.
What is your name?
Dog.
Okay, thank you, Shop.
C less than minus.
Okay, who has different answer?
C less than minus 6.
C less than what?
Minus 6.
What is your name?
Hamda.
Thank you, Hamda. Alia said C is greater than 0. Thank you, Alia. And Shamma? Like Ali. Okay, time over now. Tomorrow, inshallah, we will start solving from number 2, or tomorrow you don't have a period. On next Monday, inshallah, we will start from number 2, you know, the answers. So I want to from all please to work uh, in these exercises because this is very important for you. Thank you for your listening. Do you have any question? So this is our video for today. Thank you for your listening. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.